Well, surprise, surprise, I'm coming to you on a Saturday. What? Hello, dragon family. It's Araya, AndaRa, and for the love of dragons. Happy Saturday to everybody. Beautiful weather here in Reno. Super excited. Feels like a spring day. I do feel like we're going to have an early spring or a nice gentle gradual. Apparently the weather forecasters agree with that, switching us into a La Nina. The El Nino is out. All that stuff, whatever. I'm just really enjoying it. So hopefully some of you will find me today. There's one popping in. Hi, Ellen. Good to see you. So, why am I coming on a Saturday? Because this week was crazy. There was just too much going on. I had full intention yesterday morning when I woke up to come on yesterday, and one thing led to another. Things got embroiled, and before I knew it, it was late, and I thought, I'm not going to catch anybody over in Europe or most people that want to be out on a Friday night. So here I am. And we have a great question this week, so I wanted to be sure to definitely come on this week. Couple exciting announcements before I go into that. We're going to discuss energetic hygiene today. Do we have a need for it? Are there practices that I recommend, or is there anything specifically helpful? Those kind of questions. So first off, announcements. I'm super excited. I actually was just playing with it a little bit more this morning. My sound guy sent me the first 4 of the 8. He's working on the other 4 today. So quite literally, the new Middle Earth Dragon meditations may be up this week. How fun would it be to release them on leap year? We have a leap year this year. Thursday is the 29th. I'm going to shoot for that. Or the 28th. 28 is always my magical number. 2s and 8s. So 228, that also sounds very magical. Ooh, 228, 2024. Something definitely within that. Maybe we'll go for Wednesday. We'll see what happens this week from the sound guy and getting all my stuff done on my end to get them up. So super excited. Watch for that. They are powerhouse. In fact, I was just talking with my sound guy about whether or not he was able to fix the blips on one of the meditations that was, I'm convinced it was a tech issue because of the powerhouse energy that was working. I was in the Garnet Dragon meditation was my absolute favorite, most powerful, goes into the deep, deep inner core of our power, deep through the heart. Like it's just this inner, and it was the first time I'd worked so directly for the collective with the Garnet Dragon. And what I came to find afterwards in re-listening to it, I wasn't going to re-record it because everything comes through spontaneously. And it was so perfect and so powerful. I thought, whatever's on this, if we can't clean it up, it's going to stay that way. But you know how sometimes energy is so potent that it messes with tech. You know, there's times when the signal cuts out on our internet feeds, or I know that I walk in rooms and all of a sudden computers don't work, or lights flicker, or, things happen because our energy field gets that much bigger and stronger. And so interestingly on this, there are consistent in really random places, like throughout the whole 38 minutes, little sound blips. Can't explain what they were. Nothing going on with my internet signal other than this cut, these little blips. So it'd be interesting to see. If we can't fix it, it's going to be there because it's such a little piece as far as importance in the work and the energy that gets presented. So I'm super excited to have those released. And to realize how big and important it is that the Middle Earth Dragons are stepping forward. There's been a lot of information over the last week or two showing me why they're ready to work with the collective, what they're coming forward for, because we're ready. We're ready to start bridging towards that next higher vibrational level, getting set up to really fully embrace all of 5D. That's now, it's ready for those that are ready. It's definitely a super exciting part of our journey, and knowing this year is going to be a turning point that we look back on. The guides have told me recently, one in particular, her name is Abraxinius, that 2024 will be like a marker that we look back on as, wow, that's when everything really flipped, moving forward into the golden era, into all of the new with not just the Aquarian age, but moving into the new Earth, fifth dimensional perspective, and how exciting that is of how many people are going to pop open this year. So let's go into the question. Oh, another big announcement. I am going to be calendaring. I've had some great feedback from everybody based on my question, I think it was last week, about a 6-week Entering the Dragon Realms workshop on an online group format, small group format, for beginners. Lay a foundation, get all your dragon questions answered, come in and get the activation initiation into those first layers with the elementals and the intergalactics. So big requests for that. I'm going to be coloring that. That will start this spring. I'll announce it fairly soon, and I will send out newsletters as well as posts. So if you aren't on the newsletter list, I don't send them often. I only send when there's something happening or a big event, something energetic with the dragons that I need to make sure everybody was aware of. So I don't even, maybe every 2 months, 3 months. It's been a while since I've sent one. So I think the last one was around the solstice. Go to the dragonwithin.com homepage, and at the bottom you can sign up for the newsletter, knowing that I will not infiltrate your inbox. I am so tired of getting stuff every week or every other day from different things, and I start unsubscribing from them because it's just like, I want to know, but I'll just put myself a little reminder to check your site periodically because I'm getting too much. I will not do that to you. So that's exciting. And then I think following that, so that those in that have an opportunity, there will be a workshop that's a little more advanced workshop before any kind of a quantum flight program or anything that might come beyond that if there is another one. So with that, all those announcements out of the way, let's dive into the energetic hygiene question. This came from Tracy, and she literally was asking, is there a daily need to either clear or ground, and what practices are helpful to you? So something I want to make you guys really aware of, because most of us in our journey, we're taught how to ground, we're taught how to clear. A lot of people go in and they're constantly like, I'm being psychically attacked, or there's all these negative energies coming at me. I'm always having to clear my space and smudge. And I will tell you that I used to do those things consistently, and now I don't. And there's a reason that as you evolve, you will start noticing how little you need to do that. For me, it was a natural progression of realization. And so where I'm sitting now, I'm going to address all pieces of that spectrum. Beginning of my journey, yes, when we are starting our shadow work, when we are starting to really dive into our truths, who we are, the traumas, all the stuff that's stuck in our field that's holding us back, creating certain patterns of repetitive things coming at us, it's all giving us an opportunity to see it, clear it, release it, and move forward to make room for higher vibrational light to come in when we're not holding that denser stuff. So during that phase, absolutely, there is a need to stay energetically grounded in your own space, because that helps you really recognize what's yours and what's not, and make space to clear so that you are clear when that energy is coming at you. Why? Because energy, whether it's psychic attack or feeling just dark stuff oozing around you, taking on other people's stuff, if you're an empath, that stuff can only come in your field because there's an energetic match. We are electromagnetic beings. Granted, we're operating at a lower frequency to start with, and we're moving up into a much higher vibration of that as we clear this space and take in more light. That's bringing a higher electromagnetic field. So early on, our electromagnetic field is operating literally as a law of attraction to show us, oh my gosh, there's a piece there for me. So every opportunity of, if it's dark energy coming at you, if you're being attacked, look into, what am I holding that's connected to that energy? Have I done psychic attack in the past, or am I so bright that I'm attracting this attention that doesn't want me to be there? And there's something in my field that maybe fears that attack, has had attack in the past, and I haven't released it yet. So energy cannot come unless it's coming to a matching frequency. And I bring that to your attention because you will also start noticing, as you do your work, as you release stuff, move stuff out, see patterns and correct them in your own field, choice points of how you respond to situations, how you respond to other people's energies, all of those little awarenesses as you become spiritually mature give you insight into how everyone is a mirror. They're literally mirroring pieces back to you. And when you can see the truth and really dive into your ugly truth, and I did it, I mean, I still have pieces coming up, but early on, there seems to be so much. And it's like, oh gosh, there's another piece that, yeah, look how I did that. Look how I was acting with that in my life. And that pattern's still coming because I have this wound in me that wants to keep repeating this pattern of like, a lot of women in particular have patterns with men who treat them poorly for whatever reason. And it has to do with self-worth, or it has to do with early trauma of that coming inherited a lot of times from our parents or grandparents. It stays in the bloodline until you clear it. And then you become that, what I refer to as the Christ line or the Christ energy in your bloodline, because you start clearing it. And as you do, even those that have passed over already can clear that, and it like they can be free to actually move through that on their own because they're no longer held to the karma they've passed on to you. So as you're going through that, start being aware. Becoming spiritually mature is seeing your truth in that, seeing the ugliness of, wow, I'm attracting this because I've got this piece and I don't feel worthy enough to be treated well, or the pattern has been in my family and I'm allowing it to continue. Really allow, and the key is the emotion. The key is the emotions, feeling the emotions that rise up when that energy is coming at you. If it's waking you up in the night, you feel like it's coming from intergalactic or alien or something outside this realm, or earthbound spirits, or somebody across town, somebody across the country, wherever it's coming from, you can set up a barrier. And those practices, so clearing and grounding in that situation early on in our journey, grounding in, obviously spending time with Mother Earth, feeling, I used to describe it as a cord that I would send down from the base of my root chakra, so from the perineum all the way down until it clicked in. I would send this pillar of energy from myself to click into Mother Earth, into Gaia, like it was clicking into a seatbelt lock down into the central core. She's got a crystalline core. That's going to be powerful energy, not only to feel come up into you, to ground and clear your field, but also as you're releasing, you can send all that stuff you're releasing down that cord. She'll recycle it. Gaia's a master at that. She will take that energy and use it somewhere else. And you can then actually release that. Imagine it like a quick release lock. That whole cord gets dropped, released, and you can create a new one, a new, fresh, clean one. That kind of practice was super useful. Also, clearing practice that I used to love was visioning myself as I would breathe in, feeling this golden ball of energy expanding, 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 like golden plasmic, like sticky golden energy, feeling it big, big, big until I had a big sphere of it over my entire body, up above my crown. I could breathe in that light. I could imagine I'm breathing in it from God. You can breathe it in from the sun. You can breathe it in from the Christ light. But filling this big golden field of energy that's big enough to drop down through your entire energy body. So where the limits of your energy body are, make it that big. And then as you exhale, drop it down through your field, because that golden plasma is going to pick up anything negative in your field, anything that doesn't belong there. It'll stick to it, and you drop it down that grounding cord and let it go. That is a very powerful one as well. And I used to always do that at the beginning of sessions, or sometimes teach people that in session because it's so useful going through with people. So those as practices, depending where you're at in your journey, are really useful. But what you'll start to notice as I got higher in vibration and I was teaching more with the dragons and really helping others anchor into their full self, the dragon stepped forward and said, well, the best way to ground and clear when you are a dragon and you're fully pulling in to that self is to visualize your dragon aspect behind you. Drop your tail. Drop your dragon tail so that it is what's touching all the way down into the crystalline core. And then allow yourself to merge and feel that anchoring with you. It's what it does is take it up a notch energetically. Because as you go up energetically, you're going to start hitting your deeper core pieces. They're going to be bigger and stronger. as are the potentials of the match coming from outside. That's going to be like the frying pan hitting you in the face, the serious psychic attack. Like, whoa, I'm really getting hit here. Boom, pull my dragon in, drop it down. You'll feel it clear. So that's like mid-stage. And where you're headed, and some of you are already there, I have noticed that the more I stepped in, once I merged fully with my dragon and am able to maintain it, I don't need to do any of that anymore. I literally, for a while, you just have to remember, like daily, all right, merge with my dragon, pull my dragon in. And maybe you don't know how to do that yet. That's one of the things that I teach in my programs and classes. I know that we'll do that for the, entering the Dragon Realms thing that we'll do coming up here short in this early spring, like late March, probably early April. We'll get rocking on that. But coming into that, as you keep graduating and moving higher and higher, your vibrational field is getting higher. It's getting clearer. The larger your field, yes, you are attracting attention, but if you don't have anything in your field that can attract those, give those energies something to hook into or like be the attractor, the match for, they can't do anything to your field. They cannot attack. They cannot send energy. They won't be drawn. They might be drawn out of curiosity. Be aware that the lighter, brighter you get energetically, there are many beings on many planes of reality around this earth that are curious about that because they may have been stuck in an earth plane. They may have been stuck in what I could consider like a purgatory or an in-between plane, a lower realm where they're not really aware that they can shift. Those souls are not really aware until they see something that's maybe a lighter shade of gray or a lighter shade of black moving into gray than themselves. And they're very curious about it because that's different than them. And then they might be open to a guide saying, do you want to know why that spirit is brighter than you? Even if it's just a smidgen of a notch up into a gray spectrum, that's where they start to realize that they can change their circumstance and move out of where they are. So yes, the brighter you get on any level is going to attract attention. Sometimes that's negative attention because you still have a lot of things that can be hooked into in your own field. But as you clear those, you start to find that it's really about curiosity. And that's when I actually would expand my field and my heart open so that it wasn't terrifyingly bright, but was open to being read or seen if it would benefit any of the beings watching and they had any questions, that my guides would be available or my higher self would be available to answer those. And now moving into where I'm at, I don't have any daily practices. I don't have any specific grounding techniques. What I do, my grounding technique is to always just be merged with my dragon self and feel that. And when I drop out of that, I'm immediately aware because my 3D realm shifts. Things start going awry or my kids start being crazy or I start getting angry and triggered by things. And yeah, I'm not fully there yet. I'm definitely gone a long ways from where I started. And so I am at the point where I can feel that merge, and you guys see it when Tana comes through. I can feel her presence here speaking with you guys. So what's the other great practice that I would recommend is as you're getting towards that, at any point actually, the Emerald Dragon, the frequency bandwidth that she and all of the Emerald Dragons hold is about personal truth. So she and any of the dragons that come from the Emerald lineage, from that specific ray of energy, are about individual personal truth, your deepest truths. Well, that's where your healing lies. That's where you're releasing, you're clearing everything. So I would encourage that a best practice would be to consistently be calling in the Emerald Dragon. If you don't know how to do that, or you're like, I need help with that, I need something guided. Wow, that's one of the guided meditations is with the Emerald Dragon. And if you don't want all the rest, you can just get an individual track. They're each going to be $11. And of course, there'll be discounts when they're in the package of 4, the package of 8. But having the emerald energy around you, setting your intention and pulling that in is the greatest ally to not only drop into truth, but hold a field of vibration around you that will keep all those energies that might be wanting to sneak in or be absorbed in, to push their way in, to keep them at bay as you're doing your work. And that's an ideal partnership to see some of your stuff. The black dragon is always the go-to for shadow work, but for really seeing truth and having that protection layer of high vibration clarity around you that is like a grounding mechanism, that's the one I would recommend. So you'll also notice and watch, like some of you haven't realized yet that you're not using your grounding and clearing practices anymore, that you've sort of fallen away from it and you're in such a new space. You probably don't even realize looking back like, whoa, I haven't used that in a long time and oh, I haven't needed to. Pay attention to that because that's giving you a great indicator of where you are on your path. You're getting so close to that merge space, or you're in it a good deal of the time or in and out of it, that's an indicator for you of where you're at. Hi, Betsy. Nice to see you. So just allowing wherever you're on the spectrum, and there's no judgment on that. We all have to go through that spectrum to get where we're heading. And there will always be those ahead of us. There will always be those behind us. And it's how we go together. This is a communal journey. And it's a bell curve. There are some at the front edge of the bell curve, paving the way, breaking it through. That's a lot of the indigos like myself came in to do. We're the wall breakers and the systems busters. And there are those that are coming in at our back edge of the bell curve. Even if they're close to my age group, there are some that specifically chose as a soul level purpose to be at the back wave, to be like the herders and the gatherers of, do you remember talking about dragon shepherds? That's coming in fresh right now. They're the ones making sure that everybody that's wanting to go there is part of the wave. They're all being brought forward and they're getting those energetic hits to wake up, to start being called towards something greater. So I love the question, Tracy. Thanks for bringing it in. I think it's obviously a broad one and I could talk longer on it, but giving those basic tools and awarenesses should be helpful. I hope it's helpful. Anyway, look for the meditations coming out next week. I will be on at some point live next week. Enjoy if you're having a beautiful spring day. Get out there, enjoy that fresh air. If you need to, ground into the earth, feel the sun hit your face. Any time in nature is super grounding, but specifically to feel your feet on the earth and, you know, I'm not the first to say it. You've heard it from a lot of places, but not a lot express that. The way to create a cord all the way down to the central core, click it in like a seatbelt. That's a great starting point. And wherever you're at, just take and gauge where you feel you're at and try the different things and you'll know what's working. All right. Have a beautiful week. We'll see you next time. It won't be a full week because I know it won't be all the way till Saturday when I get back to you. But have a great, great one. Much love to my dragon family. I appreciate each of you. And I thank you for being here. Bye for now.